I'm gonna have my partner do the intro today. Yeah, just because.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of It's About Time. You know me, and apparently everybody knows Jared too.
That's probably not me.
Yeah, probably. Boy, you're looking spiffy today.
I'm a spiffy kind of guy.
I thank you very much. And what this really leads into is the fact that it's Fashion Week here at It's About Time.
Is it really?
It is indeed.
Okay.
And
Wait a minute, hold on. Should I strut on the runway?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, well, they don't see
They still won't see it, so it's going to absolutely be pointless.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it is Fashion Week and it's about time. And before we get into the fashion watches of the day, Jared, what's on your wrist?
Oh, what you want?
This shouldn't be a shock to anybody, but it's going to be the...
I'm not going to even say the name. Just admire.
If
Right?
they can make that out.
Just
Sure.
admire. Well,
It's the Gucci Timeless
You have
series.
to tell me. Whatever.
Quartz
Just
version,
admire. It's
which he brought out last week as
it's
well.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And the week before that, and yeah.
Oh, you haven't had that one. But outside of that, okay, yes, he's got the quartz version of...
By the way,
fashion
this is
watch.
the reason why we're doing tonight's episode.
Hey, so, and I have a fashion watch on as well to go with.
It's not as
tonight's
nice.
theme. Oh no, it's only the Bulgari Calibro 303. This watch has been on my wrist now since Saturday, and of
Drew,
course,
how good a time does it keep it?
actually this one fluctuates. This is when it goes faster than slower. I'd say this can go anywhere between 5 seconds to 10 seconds slow a day, and then go 5 seconds, 10 fast a day. It's a weird little movement. The 303 only has 303 moving parts, which is their claim to fame. In terms of it running, it's not the best runner I have. It's one of the best looking watches I have. That's why I do like the piece. It does have 18 karat gold bezel, the white gold right there as well as your exhibition case back. And it does have a chronograph. I'm not a fan of chronographs, but I just love the way this piece looks. And getting into that point, let's bring you to the report card of it, since this is what I promised to do this year. Is it water resistant? Yes, it passes that test. It is 10 ATM. The functionality, I told you it has a date and a chronograph, so yes, it passes functionality test. Comfortability, actually Jared had it on. Jared, how comfortable was it?
Very comfortable, although I do have a couple complaints about it. It is a very bulky watch and it's very heavy.
Okay. Well, thank you for all those wonderful compliments. Does it have loom? Yes, it does have loom. Of course, on the hour indices and on the minute and the hour dial as well. Is it scratch resistant? No. You got the two worst things for being scratch resistant. Gold gets scratched up very easily, and stainless
And
steel.
what? It gets scratched and what?
Indented. Scratched and dented very easily. You got to watch it with anything that's a gold watch, anything that's solid gold.
Would you classify this as a good everyday beater?
I would classify it as an everyday watch. Is it a beater? No. Is it used for an everyday watch? Sure. You can wear it as an everyday piece. It's not a beater. I would not wear it as a construction worker, let's put it that way.
You wouldn't.
No, I would not. Is it easy to regulate? No. I can't even find the regulate. I was trying to
Well, tell
get
us
to the
what's
back of
unique
the
about
watch.
this piece.
I told you it has 303 moving parts.
Tell
But
us what else is unique about the piece.
what else is unique about the
What
piece?
doesn't it do? That other one
It
that I
doesn't.
saw?
Yes, good point, Jared.
Thank you.
This watch does not hack.
Oh, wait a minute. Hacking? What are you talking about?
And we looked up some other watches, very expensive watches.
What does hacking mean?
Hacking means when you pull out the stem, the second marker stops. So you
Second
can time the watch. The second hand stops so you can time the watch. And this does not do that. It doesn't have that function. For some reason, and I'm guessing because it only has 303 moving parts, that's the case where they left that function off. I would have not done that. That is, I think, the worst feature of this piece. And Jared also found some other luxury watches that don't do it. We don't understand why.
Well,
if you're going to
no,
be paying that much money, why it wouldn't do it?
Well, not to go too off topic, I'll do this very quickly, but the reason why they don't is because when the companies, if the movements are like, let's say in-house, is this movement in-house?
Yes.
Okay.
303.
So if the movement is in-house, what they did was they made these watches, not like back in like, like the 40s and 50s, whatever it is, but it was just back during a time when they made the in-house movements, They just didn't include the hacking function, or they didn't include the parts for it. And the reason why they don't do it now is because, yes, it would cost them more money to do it. They're trying to keep their costs down. And I mean, does it affect the watch? You know what? Here's one of the things I'm going to say. I feel like most people out there with automatic watches, first of all, they don't even set the date on their watches. You know, most people don't do that, right?
That is true.
So most people, I don't even think care about the timing on their watches. So if a movement didn't hack, I don't even know if most people would care or notice. I mean, do you think most people really set the time? Pull out the crown when it gets to 12. You know, the 12.
I don't
the
think most
60.
people care about the timing
don't.
of how much it is off a day or anything.
They
I think
don't.
more your watch nuts like we do care about that. But
Well, hence why I got a quartz piece.
that's right. He drove himself nuts.
But the thing is that, you know, a lot of these companies, they just never made the movements with hacking function, and they're, you know, by the way, you guys don't realize this, but for in-house movements that are not like stock movements like Solida, ETA, or one of the other, there's a bunch of movements out there. When you don't, like, if you don't include your own like hacking function, then you got to bring in a research and development team. You got to bring in a team, and it takes a lot to make a complete movement that hacks and does everything, chronograph, whatever it is. If you're not going to use like an already developed, it's called EBOSH, like a movement that's kind of just plain, and then a lot of companies will, it's called modify them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so that's one of the things Bulgari doesn't do.
Exactly,
so.
And that's.
I mean, is it a terrible thing? It depends on how you look at it.
It depends. Yeah, I have to wear this watch differently than I look at my other watches because it doesn't have certain features that my other watches do. So I can't be too concerned about
Anyways,
what to go off the
topic.
So either way, to finish this up, is it a work piece? Yes. In terms of you can go to work with it. I wouldn't go to construction.
How large is this?
It is a 42 millimeter, which is the standard size in the industry. And is it a sports piece? No. This is not a sports piece, not something you would want to go golfing with, as we've explained many times before. So again, 7 out of 10, usually what most watches usually rank on this report card. And that is what was on my wrist and what I've been wearing this past week. Now, in terms of fashion, I'm going to bring out the whiteboard.
Yeah. Are we going back to school?
Oh yes, we are. Definitely going to bring back the whiteboard. And on this whiteboard is a list of fashion brands. And what are fashion watches, Jared? How would you classify a fashion watch?
Fashion watches are brands that usually are in the fashion industry, and they come out with jewelry and or timepieces, but it's not necessarily their specialty. But they do come out with them, and some of them are a little bit more on the lower end side, and some of them, like I've experienced with Gucci, a little bit more on the higher end side.
Very
good
well
definition,
put.
right?
It's a very good put.
Thank you.
And just to go over these names, if you can't see them on the camera, the brands I have listed here are Cartier, Gucci, Bulgari, Fendi, Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Emporio Armani, Dolce & Gabbana, Ralph Lauren, Michael Kors, Fossil, Hermes, Kenneth Cole.
Excuse you. Hermes.
That's fine. You change it to a P, it becomes herpes. But all right, you got Kenneth Cole.
I didn't say it.
And you got Guess. And basically, these are the most common
it's a pretty good list.
yes, fashion brands that are out there on the market these days. So how many we got right there over there?
Yeah, 14.
14 fashion brands.
Can we add one more to the list? Is there
Which one did...
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think you're going to get it anything more than that. That's pretty much what you see. So when you go to Macy's, when you go to Nordstrom's, when you go to all these
how about
stores, this is what you usually would see.
Calvin Klein?
Calvin Klein to a degree, but they don't make a lot of watches. You know, but now we're gonna rank. I'm gonna rank the top 5 of mine. I'll have Jared do the same thing. Basically, out of this list, okay, that I have over here, I've looked into these brands.
Now, in your top 5 list,
yes,
how many of them have you had experience with?
One.
No, in your top 5 that you're gonna make.
1, 2, 3. 3.
Okay.
3 out of the 5. I'm going to say I've had experience with because I have had these before. Okay, so number 5 that goes on my list. Okay, I'm going to actually go with. How do we want to say this? Hermes. Okay, and the reason why I go with Hermes as number 5 is because it is a good brand, very historical brand. more around the 1890s. This company started. They did get involved in the 1970s with Universal Geneve.
I can't wait to ask him a question in a minute.
Okay.
I can't wait.
And that's what they pretty much used, and they based their company around was their movements. And Universal Geneve was a very popular company back then, as we all know, in the Swiss industry. And that's what they basically based their watches off. They had a revival about a decade back where they become, you see their watches all over again. They went away.
Tell me their
that
most
for a
famous
while.
watch.
I couldn't tell you.
Exactly, that's my point.
But again, they're not a huge. Again, any of these in from 3 to 5 is not a huge watch. I couldn't tell you what their most famous watch is. I know a little bit about their history, but the reason I do like them is they do have watch technology. They did work hand in hand with Universal Geneve, so it's not just where Calvin Klein goes out, gets a movement from China, and you're just paying for the name. You got literally a Chinese movement in there that's going to last you 6 months. You're actually going to have quality movements in Hermes. I've looked it up, and they.
Drew, what's your number 4?
My number 4.
I'm so curious.
Number 4 we are going to go with is what you have on your wrist.
That's going at number 4.
Number 4.
Wow, that's insulting.
I think it's actually pretty. It's not insulting when you have a top 5, and anything's in the top 5. It's actually a compliment. Number 4, Gucci. Gucci.
Why is that?
Well, Gucci. Again, another fashion watch, and they had a revival in the 70s. They really got into the watch industry, and back in the 70s they teamed up with another. They actually bought out a watch company and used their movements for the Gucci watches, which was a good move because it did give them a head start, and they don't have to go, like I said, they don't have to go to China to get a movement and throw it in their watch and just name it. So they can claim their watches are Swiss made because they did buy out a Swiss, I forget the name of the Swiss company they bought out back in the 1970s, but they've been using that base ever since.
Boy, I'm going to make some interesting points in a few minutes.
Good. Okay, so that would be number 4. Nice little brand, and right now they are getting back into the automatics. They do have the automatic of his timeless version as well. And it's not that much more expensive than the quartz. It's only about $100 more than the quartz is. So, number 3, we are going to go with something that I have had in the past. And why am I not finding it right now?
Did you not put it on your list?
No, I have it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I have something here. Number 3.
We're waiting.
I'm trying. Hold on. Give me a minute.
That wasn't Calvin Klein?
It definitely wasn't Calvin Klein. I gotta go definitely with that. We're gonna skip number 3 right now in my top 5.
Okay.
Number 2.
Smooth.
Yeah.
Smooth.
Number 2, we are going to actually go with Bulgari.
I know what number 1 is.
Okay. And like I said, Bulgari, reason why I do like Bulgari is the fact, again, they do create their own movements. They are not just a fashion company. They do specialize in watches.
Yeah, don't hack. That's great.
Some do. My GMT Bulgari does hack. Okay, so smart ass. And they do use real gold. They do use a variety of materials.
Guys, I'm going to throw something out there because Drew doesn't believe me. If he threw it on an auction, this would be my bet. If he threw it on an auction, start off at 99 cents, he'd be losing some money on it. I think the value on them is not...
Value on Bulgaris is not fantastic. But are they pretty good watches? Yes. Yes, they are. And they do have a variety of material. I know what I want for number 3. Okay, we're actually going to go with this. Okay, Chanel.
You really couldn't think of it? It was right there?
Yeah, it was right there. But number 3, we're going to go with Chanel. And only from the fact that Chanel offers a variety of pieces, and they do offer ceramic. So, to get that scratch resistant, the only other brand that would do it very well, as we know, is Rado. But Chanel, they offer, they're actually rated very high. Their watches are rated very high. They are in my top 5 because they do offer the ceramic. They do offer both automatic and quartz. So Chanel would be at number 3 for that reason, the fact that they offer material that nobody else does on this list. And you can't scratch ceramic.
I can't wait to put into the test in there. I just
So,
can't wait.
Bulgari, like I said, Bulgari is number 2. They offer a lot of different brands. They are known for the
By the
Playground.
way, you just better be ready to back up your list in a minute.
Sure, not a problem.
All right.
And number 1, you're not going to beat
Oh, let me guess. Does it begin with a C and end in an R?
Yes, you can't beat this. Number 1 is going to be Cartier on my list. Okay, Cartier is the most expensive, I would say, out of all of these.
Probably.
Yeah, and the most advanced. Would you agree to that? Out of all these watch brands that are on this list,
Yeah.
Cartier is the most advanced. They have the most history with the watches.
But
make their
they
own
have
movements.
one huge drawback. I'm going to rip them apart in a minute. I'm going to rip them apart.
The biggest problem you have with most Cartier models is they're only 3 ATM.
Are you kidding me, Cartier?
I know it's sad.
Listen to me. It's not that hard to make your watches 5 ATM. I'm sorry, but for a watch that costs that much money, and you're telling me that you're not going to make it 5. I mean, come on. That's like Rolex saying, "Yeah, our watch is going to be 3 ATM." Are you nuts?
We all know the Tank
Come on.
watch. We all know Pasha.
They're
We all
some of
know
the most iconic watches.
iconic
Now,
watches.
hold
in the
on,
world.
Cartier. Let's just say this, and I
And
kind
they
of
hold
agree
the
that
best
they're.
value. Out of what's
Yeah,
on this
absolutely,
list,
absolutely.
they absolutely.
I'm
hold the
going to
best
say
value.
this about Cartier. Cartier is the reason why we have wristwatches.
Yes. Yeah. you
Okay,
got
they're
right.
the ones that started. Pilot's watches
Yep.
started with Cartier.
Yep.
Louis Cartier made the first Pilot's watch for I can't remember what.
And most people forget that Cartier really isn't a watch, just a watch brand.
It is the
They're
most.
a
Wait, hold on. It is literally.
a jewelry
Besides a Rolex,
luxury brand.
it really
Fashion
the
brand.
Cartier tank is like one of the most iconic
Sure.
watches of all time.
Exactly.
Cartier, I'm slamming 3 ATM. Shame on you.
I happen to agree with you, and I
Shame
can't
on you.
disagree with them on that.
Come on.
So anyway, those are my top 5.
All right, now hold on one second.
Hold on, let me just get rid of it.
Hold on. No, I don't want you to get rid of that. I don't want you to get.
No,
No,
now you go.
I don't want you to get. Wait, hold on.
They're gone.
Number 5 was Hermes. No, we're going back to this for a second. Number 4 was what?
Gucci.
Gucci. Okay. Number 3 was your Chanel.
Chanel.
And then your Cartier. And then what else did you have?
Bulgari.
Okay, whatever. BVL, I'll say. All right. You've owned Cartier. You've owned Bulgari, and what else have you owned?
Gucci.
And you've owned Gucci. Okay. Out of these two, would you own either one of them? Would you buy it?
Number 1, Chanel does 80 or 90% female watches, so odds are no. But the watches that they do are very highly rated, and they do ceramic.
Would you ever own a Chanel?
Probably not, because they don't really do a lot of men's watches.
The ones that they do make, would you own them?
Would I ever own it?
Yep.
I'd try it to see
You-
how good the ceramic was.
Well, I was going to say, you're touting the ceramic.
I love the
so-
ceramic.
Okay, so you would own it. So
Perhaps.
I'm just going to circle that for a second. And then Hermes, would you ever own that?
Sure.
I had to put you to the test for a second just to say, oh, by the way, did you know you have an eraser on this?
Yeah, I know. It's just fun to do with my thumb.
Is it really now?
Yes.
Man, my top 5, I don't even need to make my top, I could just tell you guys my top 5. Let's see. You know what? No, forget my top 5. No, forget my top 5. Cartier, you disappoint me. Gucci, never owned, well, actually, no, I'm sorry, I have my Gucci. I'm going to put that obviously top. This has actually surpassed a lot of my expectations there. It is really super, super accurate. It's a quartz watch, but you have to remember, guys, most quartz watches run within about 10 and 15 seconds a month sometimes. So Gucci is unreal. Bulgari, I really have no experience with Fendi, no experience with Louis Vuitton, no experience with Chanel, again, no experience with Emporio Armani. I wouldn't even put it in the top 5. Dolce & Gabbana, I didn't even really know it. Well, I don't even know if they really made watches, but whatever. I have no experience with them. Ralph Lauren, I know people that have had them. They're okay. Really like kind of like shaky-ish kind of movements. I think that you get more value for your money with Gucci than Ralph Lauren. Michael Kors, that's one of the more popular watches out there, especially for women. I see a lot of people wearing them. I'm not a fan of them
Chinese movement.
because they're gold plating, and we're going to do an episode on that. Gold plating is... So, Michael Kors cannot be in the top 5 for me. Fossil, I'll give them number 2.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I have to hear this because I'm gonna rip you a new asshole.
I don't mind. So
Why would you put Fossil at number 2?
Fossil? Well,
Out of all these brands, you would rather have a Fossil than a Cartier.
okay.
Are you stupid?
Well,
Or are you just dumb?
well, I will justify my answer here.
Yeah, I'd love to hear this.
First of all, I am a fan of affordable pieces. I'm not a fan of let's shell out $5,000 for a watch and then be like, bro, if you can afford it, fine, not a problem. But I'm speaking. You guys have to remember me, okay? I'm now going in a little bit of an opposite direction that my partner is going in. I've owned Rolex, I've owned Breitling, I've owned Omega. What else have I owned? Like a bunch of luxury watches.
Yeah, but Fossil's a shit brand, so why would you go with Fossil?
Okay.
They have a Chinese movement. I can rip them apart 8 times over.
First of all, Fossil.
They're shit.
Fossil is an affordable watch. That's number
Yes,
one.
because it's shit.
Number 2, they include features in their watches. Okay?
Yes, which last about 4 days.
Okay. Well, if you've never owned one, then you know how long they last for. But I like how they have quartz and automatic, which is pretty good. I don't know how accurate they are, but listen, you know, at the end of the day, I'm a fan of like the everyman kind of. Again, I've been here and I've been here before. Fossil, I just, you know, they're not, and plus they have, you know, some tech watches kind of cool. Listen, part of the future of watches is a little bit integrating and fusing technology. So I think Fossil's come a long way. I would definitely rank them as number 2, for sure. You know, and again, people they're 5 ATM. Most Cartier watches, you bring that around water, you're gone. So at least Fossil does
Go
that.
with the Pasha, you'll be very happy.
Okay, if you can afford it, you know, whatever it is.
$1,000.
Do you think everyone can afford it?
No, everybody can't afford it.
Hermes, I don't know, I have no experience with. Kenneth Cole,
Decent brand.
they're okay.
Again, they're going to use your Chinese
know what?
movements, but at least
I
they're a
would
decent
say
brand.
I would rank Gucci, then Fossil, and then like a Kenneth Cole kind of thing. Kenneth Cole, nothing too special. They are affordable, but you know, to me, you know, they're okay. I think the difference between Gucci and Kenneth Cole's is that Gucci, I think, adds a little bit more like flavor and design to their watches. Kenneth Cole, I think it's just a little bit more
They're more
flavor.
basic.
Like Gucci, I like how they have the rose gold in the dial. That's something else Rado does. That's what I was looking for in a watch. Like him and I talk about it all the time. Like, you know, it would be nice to have a little contrast in the dial than all silver.
True.
Love that idea. So, and Guess,
Same thing as this. This is rose gold.
almost the same thing as Kenneth Cole. I guess I would rank that towards like the bottom. I would say Gucci, Fossil, Kenneth Cole, and then like Guess or something like that. I'll give it as 4. The 5th one, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I think, I don't know. Did I have Emporio on mine? One of the things I think I had was maybe Emporio on mine. I don't know. It was just a bulky garbage watch and one of the hands fell off. So.
But my big question to you is,
Sure.
if somebody gave you that list and said you can get any of these watches for free, those are the 5 you would go with.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. I would stay away from Cartier. I would
tears.
I would without a doubt stay away from Cartier because again, if I get a watch, I want to like it and enjoy it and things like that. Cartier, I can't. What can I do with that watch? Nothing. Gucci, wow, it's an impressive brand. You know, here's the problem: is that most people don't really appreciate the brands that maybe they've never had and they've only heard through like third party kind of things or through forums, but. I endorse them. I mean, again, guys, this is probably... I don't notice this is on my wrist during the day. I look down and I'm like, wow, it looks beautiful. It reminds me of an Omega Constellation with the textured dial a little bit and everything. The size is absolutely perfect. But yeah, Ralph Lauren, I don't know. Again, guys, you have to remember that I have done a massive amount of research on a watch that, to me, is perfectly fits the bill. And this is as close as I get with stuff. All these other brands, nah. And plus, you know what my other problem with these brands are? Their hands are so short, they don't even extend all the way out. So, yeah, I mean, it's, again, they're fashion brands, they're okay.
Again, guys, fashion watches are, basically to each their own. You have a lot of different designs, you have a lot of different styles.
For any watch that you get, it's to each his own.
Especially with fashion watches, that's what they're meant.
If you like Fossil or Michael Kors, by all means, you know what I say? experiment with it. This is something that Drew and I do. Get a watch if you can afford to put it on your credit card. Get it in, okay? You don't. I wouldn't suggest sizing it or anything else like that. Because, like, if it's pre-owned, fine. If it's new, you get it in. You can put it on your wrist a little bit. Take a look at it.
Make sure it has like a 14 or 30-day money back.
Whatever it is, you guys can, because a lot of times you can't go to a store to find the watch that you're looking for. Either they don't have it in the store, or it's sold out, or whatever it is. That's one of the things that we love to do. Like, if you want to buy any one of these watches, I'm not necessarily saying, oh my God, don't go out and do it. For me personally, no. Most of them are Cartier to me is the biggest disappointment on that entire list.
Oh,
by
I
far.
totally disagree.
That's fine. That's just
He's never had one, so he wouldn't know.
The water resistance
I've had
is
3.
crazy. The water resistance is...
Okay,
Like,
yeah, and all 3 were 10 ATM, so you don't know what you're talking about. All 3
which
that I
ones
had,
did you have?
the Pashas, all 3 Pashas.
Yeah, but it's only the Pasha.
Yeah,
Like, I like
so
to
what?
see the Blonde Blue. That's
Sure.
like their most popular watch, the Blonde Blue.
Sure.
Doesn't have 5 ATM, which is crazy to me.
Well, I happen to agree with him. I think most of their models should be 5 ATM. We're in total agreement. But to say they're a shit brand is absolutely
I didn't
insane.
say that in the back. I just said to me they're the biggest
How
disappointment.
they cannot be. I got to tell you guys, Cartier. When you have a Cartier, it runs like a beast. And all 3 Cartiers that I had ran within a second or 2 seconds per day. Absolutely phenomenal. I can't say enough good things about how they run, how they look, and how they hold up. And the last 2, I have had 3, and 2 I made money off of.
How come you sold them?
How come I sold them? Because I wanted some other watches, like Bulgari. I wanted to try Bulgari. I may go back to Cartier. I like Cartier. Me, as we all know, as Jared has his pet peeves, one of mine is I don't like numerals. And Cartier is known for having numerals in the dial, and that's not something that I love. I'm trying to find the
I thought you
Cartier.
don't like Arabic numerals.
Roman
Roman
numerals.
numerals.
The Romans are fine. I'm talking about numbers. Actually,
Yeah,
numbers.
no. Cartier does Roman numerals, not Arabic.
Wrong. Cartier in their Pasha does 12,
Oh,
3,
well, the
6, 9.
Yeah, but
I-
hold on. Bulgari has an Arabic numeral already.
They have 112. You see 369?
No, I'm just
No.
saying.
So I don't mind. It's having the 369. It throws me off. I know they do offer a couple models that only have Roman numerals. I'm trying to find it. It's pretty rare, and when I probably do find it, I'm probably going to get it back. So I am looking for the perfect Cartier to complete my collection. But all 3 I've had, I can't say enough good things about. It's a great brand. It blows any of those other brands out of the water. If anybody had to come to me and say, give me one of these watches, it's either
In
Cartier or
terms of
Bulgari.
value, yes, but in terms of features, no. See, again, there's the the scale.
Well, they
between-
offer moon phases. They offer chronographs. They offer anything you want. They even have triple days. So I don't know what you would want that Cartier doesn't
I
have.
just like to see a 5 ATM watch.
Sure, I happen to agree with you. They all should be 5
And
ATM.
that kinda
That's my
ruins it.
one criticism
That kinda
about
ruins
most of the models. They're Pashas, and one other model has at least 5 ATM. But basically, guys, that's pretty much wraps up our show for the fashion watch brands. And there are a lot of them out there. Most are fly by night. You'll never see them again. Be careful of those. But most have stayed throughout the years. And this is just a list of them that have been around for quite some time. And they range from anything between $20 and they go all the way up to $20,000. It's like Jared said, what you could afford, what you're comfortable with, and what's important to you. So, and you can see opinions differ greatly based on.
But guys, don't forget, if you get the watch new, sell it. You're not going to be making money off it. Pre-owned,
You can make money if you find it at the right deal. He's right.
No, I don't think you can make. I don't think you
3
can.
Cartiers I had, 2 I made money very easily.
How much did you make on them?
$200-300 a piece. If you can get them, especially the Pashas, at the right price, especially on eBay.
How much?
I got
You
it
need to get them
for. All right, the Pasha is about $1,250, $1,300. You can sell it
When's the last
for
time you-
$1,550,
When's the last? Now was that with box papers and everything, or just the
No,
watch
just
itself?
the watch itself.
Okay.
That watch goes for $1,500 all day.
When's the last time you sold it at 12 or 1300?
Oh, I see them from time to time, once, twice a week. It depending on the condition they're in. If you know a good watch, you would polish it up. All of a sudden,
I was gonna say, why not just buy those up and resell them?
Good. If I wanted to, I'm putting my money elsewhere right now. But yes, it's a good buying opportunity. Absolutely, especially a lot of these Cartiers you can get from Japan.
On the next episode of It's About Time, how to make money on Cartier Pashas.
We could
Starring
have
Drew
episode
Zilla.
on that. But anyway, guys, that pretty much wraps up our show on fashion brands, and that pretty much is it for this week. So, again, guys, email us.
Tell me how
Post
good
your
looking I
comments.
am. Whatever.
That's what they're going to
That's what they do talk about.
Yeah, I'm sure they
Yeah, exactly.
drop us your thoughts on what of any of these brands, what ones you have, and how much you like them. Based on, you see our thoughts on it, based on what we've had, what we've experienced, and what we haven't had in our collections over the years. And let us know what you guys think.
Gucci all day.
Well,
Gucci
Gary,
all day.
I do like that. And like I said,
400, 3,500. Yeah, just saying, it doesn't act.
so I can rip his too, easily. But outside of that, guys, again, thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time on another episode of It's About Time.